Citizens of the web, it is wonderful to see you again. I haven't shown you what a 3D printer has looked like in a while, and I'm going to go through today, and I'm going to explain every modification I've done since the last video in which I show you all the modifications I've done. Without further ado, let's cut to the printer, and I'll just start from the top and work my way down. So, in working from the top down, obviously I have the spool holder. I used to have two of these, but I moved down to one just because I never really used more than one roll of filament. I also added an oiler from the last time. I don't believe I had an oiler when I made this video, but this has prevented many clogs. Before I had this, my E3D began to clog almost every single day on every single print. I did some research and I found out that I needed an oiler. Moving down from there, it's kind of stuck right here. When you turn the printer on, you can see it. It's the RGB lights, and they flash red, green, and blue when they turn on, and they have the ability to turn the printer different colors depending on the temperature. So I'm going to go through a preheat process. So currently right now the printer is heating up to 210 degrees Celsius, and when it reaches its target temperature, it'll turn back to white. In the meantime, I'm going to keep moving down. You can see that everything in here, I've changed to a white component. Let's see if you can get a really good solid look at what the carriage looks like. There we are. So the reason why I changed this all to white is so that whatever color the lights changed, you'd be able to see on the carriage. And this is the exact same extruder setup I was running before I changed everything. I just changed everything to white. So this is the herringbone gears. This is my fan duct for the E3D V6. That's an E3D V6 in there. This is the Wade carriage and the Wade extruder. And I even got the Easy Swap in white now. But all of these have been already documented as far as the builds go, and I will put links to all of the videos in the description. Along with the new white carriage, I also installed these lead screws on the side. And this allows me to get much faster movement out of the 3D printer. Let me move the Z-axis real fast to show you. So this is from 0 all the way to 180. Because of the way that the lead screws are designed with a very coarse pitch, it allows me to move the printer a lot faster. And I also have another video on how to install these from Amazon. They have a coupling that allows the piece that rides along the lead screw to attach to the piece that rides along your X carriage. Now, I'm going to turn the 3D printer around and I'm going to show you one of the other modifications I've done in the back. You might already have this ribbon cable that goes through the actual box down here, but if you had anything that was developed about a year ago, this didn't exist. So this is an aftermarket feature of the 3D printer. I got this off of one of the 3D printers I had fixed from the store, and I put it on mine. The guy that I sold that printer to also got a ribbon cable upgrade, and this allows the 3D printer to move with as much flexibility as possible without ever getting bound up underneath. So I thought this was a pretty good addition. So I actually think the other video that I had is so old, it doesn't have my LCD controller upgrade, which is what I primarily use to run the 3D printer now. So I'm going to give you a close-up of what the newest firmware looks like running on the LCD controller. So this is the new splash screen for the Marlin. I'm using the RC3 code that I got from Where's Waldo on the community forum. And you can see that there's only one extruder here instead of having all three of them and these two being blank. And then I show the bed, and the text is a little bit different, as well as the menus. So the menus have a few different features as well. And one thing that I like the most about this is that while you're printing, you can go to the tune section and you go to the baby step Z. And here, you actually can control how far your offset is with this controller. So say that you're just 100 microns too short. You don't want to go change your Z offset in your G code. While your 3D printer is starting up, all you have to do is go into that baby stepping feature, and you can adjust the Z height as you're printing. It's pretty awesome. And the last two modifications are, of course, the Z-Rod stabilizers and the 3D printed feet. Still rocking some old mods that work real well. So before I close the video out, this will be the last thing I show you on the 3D printer. So one of the things I love about this the most is the lights, because I coded them. When you start a G code, you'll first start out blue. The extruder is already hot, so you go to red. And this is all done while the 3D printer is homing itself. After the extruder is up to temperature, you'll see that the lights will turn white, and it'll then go to its auto bed leveling. And this is only after it's at temperature. And the G29, for the auto bed leveling, it's extremely fast. So when it gets to the last point, it waits there, and if the bed temperature is correct, this color will change to cyan, and the Z-axis will move up 100 millimeters so I can spray or glue the bed. And as soon as I resume the print, the 3D printer will turn white again, and it'll continue its job. Also, if I'm going to clean the bed, I set it to 100 degrees Celsius. I get it really hot, so all the stuff on the bed gets really easy to remove. And the 3D printer turns yellow because a lot of times I'll have the 3D printer on a heating curve for the bed so I can clean it later, and someone will come along and actually 3D print something. So the yellow is a warning letting people know that I'm actually in the middle of cleaning the printer instead of getting ready to use it for anything. And the other color that it's able to reach is magenta, but you see that between the blue and red fade when it's heating. So those are all the hardware modifications I've done, sprinkled in with a bit of firmware modifications I've also done. I might include some firmware upgrades later on in a different video. This one I just wanted to cover the newest hardware upgrades. That's probably the last time you'll ever see the printer with a single extruder on this channel. From here on out, I'll be running the dual extruder setup, and the next video that I have released will be the installation of that. So watch out for that video. If you have any... I forgot how this goes. If you like this video and want to see more like it, make sure you click that subscribe button. If you have any questions about this video or suggestions for future videos, make sure you leave your comments down below. Like I said, dual extrusion will be coming up very soon, so stay tuned, and thanks for watching.